excessive dumping of trash into the Nairobi River. We are having families in urban settlements living next to pollutants and hazardous materials that have been festering in the Nairobi River. So I caught up with a startup group that is trying to take the trash out of the Nairobi River and ensure that they're turning it into treasure and even create employment for locals living along the riverside. Take a look at this feature. Who needs a solid waste disposal system when you have the Nairobi River snaking its way through the city? The so-called river has over the years been turned into the city's major sewerage system that sluggishly washes away all kinds of garbage, flowing from the northwest to the southeast with toxins that will eventually be poured into the Indian Ocean. Massive failure by the city authorities to curb dumping of waste in the river has turned it into a breeding ground for all manner of disease-causing bacteria such as E. coli. Expert reports also indicate the levels of harmful metals in the water body are far above what the World Health Organization has determined as safe, particularly for a water body so close to human settlement. Health risks aside, the river, if you can still call it that, is an eyesore and stinks to high heaven. Did you know that the largest percentage of trash in the Nairobi River consists of diapers, sanitary towels, human refuse and plastics? When it comes to handling trash, out of sight, out of mind does not work. Today, we focus on a startup that is going against all odds to ensure that they are cleaning up the river, protecting the communities here, and ensuring that they are able to make a livelihood out of the trash right here. It is the kind of pollution that needs sustainable solutions, far from the cleanup exercises that barely scratch the surface. Chemalex is a startup that is taking up the Herculean task of taking the trash out of the river. Not only are they taking the garbage out, to make the river cleaner and safer, they are aiming at sustainable ways of keeping this trash out of the neighborhoods by recycling.
What we do currently is to install plastic capture devices at dispersed location within within River Nairobi. So this is the first plastic capture devices that we've installed at Kariobangi site. So after this plastic capture device is able to automatically remove plastic from River Nairobi, and after removal of the plastic, it's being dried at this particular area and then transported to the central recycling facility.
That all lead into Earth River. So we, first of all, we identified youth groups that are actively working with they're trying to do something, they're trying to rehabilitate the river streams. We identified community youth groups in Kibra, in Tasia, in Riverside, as we go downstream. So the first thing that we do to these youth groups is that we train them. After registering them, we train them on what the problems that we're facing, pollution, recycling. After training them, we organize them into groups, and then soon afterwards, we install plastic capture devices that are then able to trap any kind of waste or trash that is flowing downstream. The plastic capture device is an innovation by the company that is able to trap the waste, all kinds of waste from the river, then remove it out of convey it out of the river. Now, this also creates a problem because once the waste has been removed into the river, it piles up there. So that's where the community youth groups and the women groups come in.
Taking it out is a tedious process made easier by this motorized contraption that lifts out garbage from the murky waters. Today, however, the machine has broken down. The young people trying to keep this venture going have to get knee-deep into the filth and do the dirty work. The women working hard behind me are busy sorting out the trash that has been fished out of the Nairobi River and brought into this warehouse. This is where they are put through a 5-minute process that melts them and puts them through a compression situation that will turn them into various products that basically turns it from trash into eco-friendly treasure. This bears value far beyond cleaning the environment. These women can now make a modest living and take care of their families.
Kabla nipate hii kazi nilikuwa na shida mingi. Sikuwa naweza kujilipilia nyumba, sasa hii naweza na niko na watoto 4 na walisha wanasoma. Mimi hii kazi imenisaidia kwa kweli. Sasa naweza ambia watu wasidharau hizo takataka zinatupwa kwa mto. hizo ndizo zinaendaga zinalisaikuliwa na zinauzwa, zinatengenezwa zingine mpya.
They painstakingly sift through the garbage, separating the trash into categories: plastics, styrofoam blocks, shoes and other items, each category having specific value depending on the end product in mind.
Kwa watu ni takataka, lakini kwetu si takataka. Tunakuja tunazichanganisha, tunaweka kila kitu kando kando, kama ni viatu kando, plastic, kuincha kando, na hizi vitu za white.
Hizi vitu kama zimetolewa hivi, hakuna vile vitu vinaweza kuja zinajifunga pamoja. Kwa hivyo mvua ikikuja inapita tu. Hakuna shida ya nini, ya kukua kumeshikana ama kumefungana.
We have particular types of plastics that are prevalent that we collect. First of all, we have PET, that is polyethylene. The example of PET is the water bottles, as well as the soda bottles. Another type of plastic that we realized that is prevalent, according to our data, is styrofoam, as well as the diapers, which we collect from the rivers. So it's important that after we collect this data, it will be able to inform us in which strategies we can take to be able to inform even policies to be created around the plastic problem.
It is a pretty straightforward process that involves melting elements with sand at a very high temperature.
So recycling plastic is a very sensitive matter because of the health consequences and the way and the technologies involved. So the first thing you need to do is just make sure that you're wearing protective equipment, especially this mask that ensures that all those toxic fumes you are protected from the toxic fumes. So the first step is we have to light our jiko. Then put it to the desired temperatures, because we need the high temperatures to ensure that the plastic melts completely. So the next thing is that we need to ensure that the ratio between the plastic and the sand and the other materials are to the desired, because we have different kinds of paving blocks. So for you to get the desired hardness or desired quality, you need to ensure that the ratio is balanced. So in this case, you're going to use the ratio of plastic to sand 1:1. We are using the normal gunia, which is classified as a nylon. So we are going to use the ratio of 1:1. Having weighed this one, so we are going to just put it inside. So as the temperature is increasing, the plastic will start melting. So we have to ensure that the plastic is pressed downwards so that the heat just covers it nicely as we are trying to get our sand ready, and just waiting, giving it time to melt. This process normally takes between 15 to 20 minutes before it is completely molten, and then we can now add the sand. So meanwhile, I'll just continue heating the sand and increasing temperature. Now that the plastic is completely molten, we now add the sand that we weighed, and then we continue stirring. we've seen different organizations, different ministries trying to clean up the rivers. They set up dates, they come up and clean rivers, but then the next day the river is as dirty as before. So we're just trying to tell these organizations and companies we need to come up with sustainable ways of making sure that once the river is cleaned, or we set up policies and ideas in place that ensures that once this cleaning has started, it continues getting cleaned. So the first problem is that the people who are executing the cleaning, they are not very serious in terms of the execution. The second thing is that there is lack of synergy between different ministries, different organizations, different companies. We just want the synergy to come up together so that we can achieve a common goal. We have to empower the companies that are working directly on the ground. We have to provide them with machinery like tractors, lorries, to be able to carry the waste. Because companies that are doing that, they can collect the waste. They can collect the waste, but now transporting it to the desired places of dumping becomes a problem. Because of that's where the now cartels come in.
But until this matures into a large-scale operation that spans the length of the city, plants dumping toxic waste into the river will have to be stopped. Systems for solid waste management will have to be put into effect, and local manufacturers will have to put more thought into where their products wind up after use and demonstrate social corporate responsibility. Trix Ingado, KTN News, Morning Express. Don't mind me, I'm just enjoying the smoothie that was made by Chef Etole here at Hill Park Hotel in Nairobi, where we have been centered today on your health, bringing you the very important details and, of course, things that you can do to ensure you are healthier. And some of your feedback is also quite encouraging, and I think some of you shall be partaking in these new healthy 2021 habits. We have Bob Owino, who says he is locked, watching us from Kisumu, and he is asking why I am not in gym fitness wear. Next time, Bob, I shall be donning that. And then we have Ken Gichinga, a friend to the show, who says he's loving the new setup. I told you we are here today, switching it up at Hill Park Hotel here in Nairobi. Thank you so much for those who have watched. If you missed any of the segments, we talked about the food you need to eat, we talked about wellness, we talked about how you can actually work out from home, or why you need a trainer. Go to our website or our Twitter handle and find out some of those clips, and watch and enjoy, and of course learn a few things about your health. But from the entire crew that is responsible and behind this production from Hill Park Hotel here in Nairobi, I'd like to thank you for joining us all the way from 7 now to 9, and of course see you tomorrow, same place, same time, here on KTN News. My name is Trix Ingado. Thank you for watching, and have yourself a lovely day ahead.
This is KTN.